being a producer in this film and having worked with David twice before this film,
Yeah.
what did you want to achieve? What were those talks or those first talks and throughout those 5 years? Given that, yes, there were a lot of historical facts that were included. Yes, this is fantasy, but there were a lot of shocking historical facts.
Yeah, being a producer on this just felt natural because the whole thing started with just me and David sitting at a diner, scribbling on napkins and listening to music and watching jazz documentaries and finding jaw-dropping historical events, as you allude to, that we had never heard of, that became the backdrop of the film. But then first and foremost, we wanted to create characters that we could be in love with, that were charismatic, that we wanted to hang out with, and a triangle of friendship that was enviable, a triangle of friendship that David and I both said, oh my God, we want to have that. And it was such a joy to get to put this together with David. He's a friend and he's just one of the most unique filmmakers in the world. And I'm so bloody proud of how Amsterdam has turned out.
It also reminds us, and numerous times during the story, that history repeats itself because people forget. And I mean, we are seeing it right now.
Yeah, there's a line that the wonderful Margot Robbie says as Valerie, which is history repeats itself because it forgets itself. That's why it repeats itself. Now, believe me, when we started writing this, it was 6 years back, and a lot happened in that time that David and I would just be looking at each other going, what is going on? And of course, people want to dig into that. There is a lot to dig into. It is absolutely fascinating. But the thing that is absolutely constant is we want good friendships, and we want love, and we want joy, in our lives. And we want to defy miserable bastards, and we want to stay joyful. And what I love about Bert and his friends is that they are people who we would expect to be absolutely broken by their injuries in life, both physical and mental injuries. But instead of that, they get stronger, they get more wise, and they become more full of life and colorful and fun. And these are people that I just want to be friends with myself, and I love watching in the film.
So guys, I saw this movie and I went to Google. And that's what I love about movies like this. And it's amazing how little we know about the coup attempt of 1933 and how many people actually thought that Nazism and fascism were a totally viable way of governing. What was your reaction, your initial reaction to those facts?
I'm never really that shocked to find surprises in history. I'm always very skeptical of history to begin with. I feel like it's very hard to find the truth. We see it in our school system nowadays. They're peddling alternate versions of history, one way or the other, depending on where your school is and what society you're a part of. And I even with very simple stories, like I just did a project about George Jones and Tammy Wynette, and I was doing all this research, and every version of the story was different. And I was like, well, I guess you just at some point you just choose, like, well, this is what I think it was. And
true,
but I don't know for sure. So I'm never really that surprised to hear about things like this popping up out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it seems like history is a rolling Rashomon. It's sort of also too, new contexts emerge of the same facts, you know what I mean? And
the parallels are just
unbelievable. Yes, and here we are, sitting here, and there is the possibility that America might be ordering fascism from a menu that they don't know the prices or the ingredients of, but they've been told that it has the value proposition of certainty, value proposition of efficiency and speed. And what is it Churchill said, democracy is the worst political system ever that just happens to be better than all the others. And there is, democracy is maturity, fascism is immaturity. It's id, it's I want it now. It appears to be, democracy is is up the chakra journal where we want to be. So it's not surprising that people can be duped by it. But I knew all of this history. My parents were in World War II, and they were very wary of the reemergence of fascism. And I had seen a data point that the Holocaust, there was the least awareness of the Holocaust, and of those who were aware, it was the most skepticism of the Holocaust. Now, I had two parents that fought in World War II. My dad was in the Royal Engineers. He was near Belsen, could smell it.
Oh my God.
My mom was in the RAF during the bomber campaign. And my mom said, we were afraid. We were afraid that our children would be forced to speak German, and friends of theirs would be put in camps. And it was a very, very real thing. So I've been fascinated by this. So when David and I started talking, I was like, am I being punked? This is everything I talked about at my dinner table when I was a kid in Toronto. So just a fascinating, it's done in the best way, which is it's fun. It's a fun ride, it's a 5-ticket ride.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, I could stay talking with you for 4 hours about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
Daniela.
love the movie. Thank you.
Yeah.